Hello, it's Rahim Bah. Welcome to the channel. In this video, I'm going to share with you how I find the most desirable place to invest in the UK. As property investor, buying properties, holding on property is a business deal. So it needs to work for you now and in the future. So in order for you to be able to buy a property that gives you a better return on your investment for a lifetime to come, it is important to buy them in a desirable place. And it doesn't have to be local to you as well. You just have to have specific things that you look for in order to start investing in that area. So in this video, that's exactly what I'm going to go through with you, and you will love it. It would absolutely blow your mind away. So let's get to it. The first thing I look at when I'm buying a property is the market trend. I do a research on the market trend in my investment area. So what I look at is by how much property prices has gone up in that area and how much tenants are paying in that area. What are the variables and what are the cities closer to my investment areas? So I'll determine that and understand. So I also look at when capital appreciation has hit that area. If capital appreciation, property price has just gone up in that investment area, I don't tend to buy properties there. I tend to look at where would be the next place property prices would be going up. Because if property price has already gone up in that investment area, it means I've missed that boat already. So I need to look at where the next wave is gonna go to. Right? So once you determine where the next wave is going to go to, before the wave gets to that place, that's when you want to start your investment journey. And at that place, it could be a buyer's market. What is buyer's market? A buyer's market is where the buyer have the opportunity to buy properties at discount because properties are either going down in value or just stagnated and it hasn't gone up in value. So in that sort of situation, you can go and buy these properties at discount and make serious return on your investment in those. That's what we call buyer's market. So I'm going to study that in my investment area. If it hasn't gone up in value yet, boom, I would want to look a lot more in that investment area. And the second thing I look for when I'm looking at a desirable place to invest is the infrastructure, right? What are the infrastructure or development in that area? So when I'm talking about infrastructure, here's the thing. I'm not talking about government building something or there's a project going on. I'm looking at who are the employers in that area, what type of employment that are in that area, and what sort of people that are living in that specific investment area. I hope this is making sense, because once you've determined that, it allows you to understand whether it is a place you could invest. Once I've looked at that, I then consider this, whether there's any ongoing infrastructure development in the investment area. It's not something that has been forecasted or projected for, something that's actually going, right? Because that's going to tell me that I may be able to boost my property value once the development completed. And the third thing I look for, once I've done that, the next thing I look for is rental demand. What is the demand in that investment area? Am I able to buy that property today, renovate it, and rent it as soon as I finish the renovation works? You may be asking, how do you determine that? You will determine that by actually ringing agent, doing your due diligence, and following certain golden rules to ensure that your properties are rented when you complete it. Here's the thing, with all the properties I've bought, I've never had those properties vacant for over a week. Sometimes by the time the renovation finished, we've got about 10-15 people lined up to view the properties already. What that means, basically, we're buying the properties looking what I'm sharing with you right now, looking at the marketing trend, looking at the infrastructure that is going on in that investment area, and then obviously we back that up with the rental demand. If there's a rental demand in that investment area, we literally check that box. And then the next thing we look at is local amenities. So what do I mean by this? So we kind of evaluate what sort of things that are available in our investment area. Are there any good schools in the areas? So if there are good schools, are they outstanding? The next thing we look at is local amenities. We evaluate to understand what is available in that area. I'm talking about schools. If I'm talking about school, are there any good secondary schools, outstanding secondary schools in that area? And how far are they from our investment areas. Look at hospitals. Are there any good healthcares in the area? Are there GP in the local area from our property where that our tenant would not have to work about a mile or two to get to their GP? And if there are any big hospital around the area. And the next thing we want to look at also is transportation. Is it easily accessible? If the property is easily accessible, and can I jump on a train in about 5-10 minutes after leaving my house? These are the things that we look for when we are looking for a most desirable investment property. The final thing I look for is diversification strategy. So if I were to buy a property in this investment area, where I'm buying that property, is the density of the strategy I want to do. Suppose I'm buying it, but I'm looking at doing HMO in that property. Is there any lots of HMO in that investment area? Are there oversupply of HMOs? Okay, so if I'm doing a flat, for example, if I'm converting into multiple of units, are there lots of multiple of units of the same unit in that investment area? And also the thing I look for also, am I able to diversify within that investment area? Am I able to get a HMO there, a buy to let, convert a property into flat, or perhaps do another property as a mixed-use property? So these are the things we look for when you're looking at. And finally, what we look at is basically, are there any flood risk in that area? Have that area ever flooded before? Because the reason why you want to do that is because you want to understand how likely you can get a good mortgage, and secondly, what your insurance may be once you start renting that property. And obviously, if none of those are there, that then maximizes your return on investment. So this is how I find out the most desirable place to invest. I really hope this video has been helpful. If this video has been helpful, hit the like button below, subscribe to my channel for more amazing videos. I look forward to sharing next video.